We are here on the day of the summer solstice 2022, welcoming our beautiful friend, Dr. Sandra Lewis, to join in the conversation with Larry and me about today, focusing on women, love, emotions, and seeing beyond the surface in order to really hold on to the center where we function beautifully and easily and love.
Great.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Great.
Hi, Sandra. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too, Larry. It's
I'm
so
talking
good
about
to
this for a
have
while.
this
This is great.
conversation with you and Jenny.
No, look, I want to jump right in because one of the things I'm excited about having this conversation with you about is because, well, we're both psychologists.
Mhm.
And so we both have done this journey from something that looks like traditional psychology into the world of energy and qi and qigong and Chinese medicine and other things. I know you do other things too. And, also I think in our practices and in the world, we know that the people who register pain the most first are women.
Mhm.
And so they're the ones who come to clinics, they come to therapy, they look for help. And everybody who does counseling or therapy has a high percentage of women that they're
Yeah.
working with. And I know that for you, that's a really important part of the work you're doing. And it's natural for me because that's who comes in, and we have different angles on that, no doubt. But, I think it'd be fun to talk about, like, so where do we start? Like, how do we think about the issues that we see women dealing with? And also, how does this other angle we have help us?
Yes.
You want to jump in on that?
Yes, let's jump in there. And I'd say, Larry, the thing that I know we're seeing is that women come to us feeling like it looks okay outside and people think I'm okay, but inside I'm really not doing it. It's something's not right in here and I'm not me. And I feel like things are falling apart. I'm overwhelmed and it's like a piece is dropping and I'm trying to catch it. So that sense of being in pieces and overwhelmed, they tend to tighten themselves. They tend to tighten down and try to get as still but stiff as possible. Yep. So for us, right, having this Chinese medicine, perspective, we see that what's happening is their energy is just bound. It's bound and they're trying to move. They're trying to move out of the stress into a place where they feel like themselves again, but they can't get their energy to shift. So by helping them again to see that what you're doing is tightening, and even connecting that to the way we think about the stress process in psychology, is that we've gotten stuck in this place where we can't see a way through our resources to get out, right? We're just in this path where we're spiraling down. Yeah. So getting them to see that this is energy stuck when we're stressed. Mm-hmm. And if we can just make small shifts, right? Small shifts, it's like we can then start to feel our way to like move in a new direction. So just a small shift in the energy. And Qigong practice for us, of course, is one of the ways we keep our energy shifting, moving, flowing. So that idea is like the first thing I'd like to get people to get is that, okay, this energy's here, it's just stuck. Uh-huh. We just want to shift so you can use it to do what you want to do in the world.
Yeah, that's great. It's what you're talking about is so practical, like people can, I think, hold on to it without having to get too woo-woo about the whole thing, which is, it's fun and interesting, but sometimes it puts people off. And I think, what you're saying speaks to people's experience, to women's experience, that they're, just juggling too much. Yeah. And, so, there's a couple of things that I think about is, one is for us, like, we have our energy practice, and, that's important, like our own energy practice. So like, when you sit with somebody, you get some sense of some kind of nonverbal sense of where they're at. Mm-hmm. And I think that's been one of the biggest shifts for me, is realizing like I have this practice, and I know people notice certain things just by being with us, mm-hmm. that we're demonstrating. And then when you talk about like, you're really stuck, you're in this hard place, and we can start to do something, maybe something relatively simple, an exercise to get started. And once you do that, you feel something shifting. Right. And they can see in us when we even demonstrate something's different. Yeah. And that's inspiring. And I think it's important. And it's really different from like, the kind of training I came out of.
Oh,
Where that
absolutely.
wasn't really that important. It's really what you think and what you understand and
Yeah.
how you conceptualize, but not really what is actually going on with you.
Yeah, right. And even though in psychology, we talk a lot about sensation and perception, right? It's like it's like chapter 3, right? In the intro psych book. We talk about these things, but really helping people live and experience them is different. This ability to say, oh, my body is giving me a signal. Oh, when my body, it's like, my body is telling me something about what's happening for me emotionally. And just to get people to tune into that, just notice it,
Important.
is one of the first and most powerful things that they will ever be able, tools that they'll ever have in their toolkit, for sure.
What I love about that is, there's a lot of people who are doing more body-centered work these days. And so they start with that kind of understanding too. And that's valuable. I think the shift overall to incorporating body process and therapy has been really helpful and important to doing the things we're talking about, helping people in this way. And yet it doesn't quite go as far as we go when we talk about the energy in your body. It's not just your awareness alone, although that's very powerful.
Yeah.
There's something else. And, now we start talking about this mysterious sort of hidden thing that's in our lives. It's actually like this deep source of creativity and potential, right? So we have that to offer them. Like this is really an ocean of possibility that you have direct access to.
And Larry, what I like about what you said is that this, these things that we recognize as sensations have a much deeper meaning. Like that's one. So we're trying to help them see the layers of this, right? To eventually get to this layer within them that really is this pure knowledge, this deep knowing, this wisdom, this energy that has the capacity. Right. So, and because so many times in the workplace, women are told, and people are told, but definitely women, okay, we don't need your women's intuition in here. We just need you to do the job.
Right.
And we want them to remember, right? We want them to remember that those inklings they get come from a deep knowing. And that deep knowing is what helped them incarnate into this life. And that this life, right. This life we're living is driven by this deeper, energy that's flowing through us. And we can even say the trees and the water. But if we could just start by recognizing that this deep knowing that lives within us is always where we're trying to get to, so that we can shift and solve these challenges that we're facing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Jenny, hi.
Hi, Jenny.
I'm back to say ding, ding, ding.
Well, so that's the thing. We're going to do these conversations, and they're all going to be sort of short courses.
Yes.
Then we'll do another one.
Yes.
So come back next week, y'all, after the 4th of July, and maybe we can add a little freedom theme to our conversation. This has been so beautiful. Women, the mysterious is not so mysterious. We all know it's here. We just are going to continue to see the ways that we can nurture it, bring it up, and live with it, and in comfort and joy.
Yes.
So come back next week and the week after, and we'll have more of this conversation.
Yeah,
have a lovely day.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.